It is.
What's good, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fourth and out of victory, man. It's your boy Fight on Christian.
And always your running mate B Jinx, man. We got our weekly resident on again, man. He back in it with us. Leon, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, man. What's going on, Trojan fans?
Always, man. Always.
Always, man. Like if everybody don't know it, tough style. This is our guy Leon, man. I mean, he's part of the family. He's part of the show, man. We
Right.
we really at some point might just have to bring him in, man. He's a guest. He's not a guest no more.
Nah, he not.
I know. I
I'm
got a
sorry.
rule
I'm
in my
sorry,
house.
Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. There we go.
Thank you.
You know he had to
Thank
stunt,
you.
right? You know
No,
you
no, no,
know
no.
that was coming. You know that was coming.
Hey, look. Hey, BC Blackie Chan gonna take this shot at us and say finally. That's because I give him a
Right.
hard time. You know, I be in they videos and like BC where you at? BC where you at? Hey, BC, I feel you, man. I'm sorry, man. You got me on this one. I ain't even got
Oh,
nothing to say, my guy. You
because you
was
know
waiting
who fault
7.
it was, right, BC? You
It
know
was
who
my
fault it
fault,
was.
B. It was my
Right,
fault, BC. I got off work
right.
late and I give you a hard time. So, man, I take that shot, man. I take that shot, BC. But
Yeah.
what I was saying, man, is sure we appreciate Leon, man. Leon always hop on when we call him. He's always ready. Uh, Normally he gets on everybody else's show with the sunglasses. We don't get it. But today on Fourth and Nine Victory, he brought out the expensive sunglasses for our viewers. So we appreciate you, Leon. We
Hey Leon, what are
appreciate it.
those? Hey, are those the Cartiers? Cartiers?
These is Jean Paul Gaultier's.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey, so everybody out there watching, we getting the prima
Appreciate you.
donna aspect today. We getting the best of the best. So
Come
shout
on,
out to
man.
Leon. We appreciate it. Man, so let's get right into it before we get into our topics for today, man. Let's just start off. And Leon, you're our guest. Not much going on in the recruiting world, but I mean, we did have a defensive lineman. We always excited about that. Looks like he's going to go to a JUCO in San Diego. Our tight end that we have, the number one tight end in JUCO, Josiah Jefferson, came from that same school. Um, I'm not going to say that it was about grades or academics. I don't have the specifics on that to exactly what went into this decision, but we did lose one of our defensive linemen in his class, and it sounds like he's going to go to JUCO and be back in spring to fix whatever or do whatever he has to do to get
He'll
back
be
at
back in
USC.
December, right? He'll be back in
That's what
December.
it sounds.
That's what
That's
he
what it
said.
sounds like.
Right.
He hasn't decommitted. Uh, no one's seen a decommitment or anything like that. We just last week we seen that he was going to JUCO. Um, but at this point, anything can happen. You can go to JUCO, he can perform great. Somebody else can come in, swoop in. But it sounds like when I looked at his Twitter when he made the announcement that he'll be going to Southwest there in San Diego. I know that college well, that junior college well, that being my hometown. Josiah Jefferson came from there. He told Fight on Rusty, which is a reliable aspect. Hey, I'll be back. It's just a matter of timing. He sounds like he's going to go there and be back in the spring. Um, we wasn't penciling him in as a day one starter or anything like that. More, but he's a big body on the interior, right? So, Leon, what's your take on that, and what do you feel about that?
I mean, obviously, the young man has some things that he has to clean up. I kind of question why it happened. You would think that somebody in the front office who's handling, the
Right.
grades and everything transferring from high school to college, somebody would have pointed this out back in February, March, April, May to ensure that this young man was ready to matriculate to USC come June. With that being said, if you look at the young man's offers, I mean, he had offers from everybody, whether it was Georgia, other SEC powerhouse. I think he had Notre Dame on there. He had USC. He had some powerhouse colleges in terms of offers. And I went back and watched his highlight tape. This young man played running back from a defensive tackle position. Now, of course, it was close to the goal line. Put the big
Right.
boy in there. But to me, he got good feet. It like he moves very, very fluidly for a guy who's 6'5", 350 pounds. So yeah, we may not have he may not have been a starter. He may have to work on some technique and stuff like that. But from the terms of him being able to move at that size, I you don't see many guys his size. I tell you this much. I bet you he moves better than Jared does.
You
He
think
just
so?
looks I
Ooh,
he
Jared
looks
moves good.
he Jared moves good. He does not move as fluid as this young boy does. This young boy is fluid. I mean, he got the ball one time, made a nice little cut into the end zone one time I watched on his highlight film. Like he's got really good feet. So, him going to junior college, getting his if it's his grades and that's what he needs to get that together. Hopefully he stays in shape. Hopefully he stays injury free, gets to work on losing some of the bad weight that you normally have going from high school to
Mhm.
college, and he comes in December ready to rock.
Right.
Right. B, what you got, my
Me
man?
personally, I think it's a good thing. If he wasn't projected to be a major contributor this year, he may as well go to the JUCO level, get some experience underneath his belt. That way, when he comes in, technically he'll be what we consider to be a red shirt. I don't know how the new rules are going to affect it, considering that at one point they didn't count the JUCO years. Correct? I don't know how that's going to change with the new rules in place, but I'd much rather have him somewhere performing at the JUCO level than to be riding the bench all season or just performing on the scout team. I'd rather him get those reps somewhere, being productive, working on technique, like Leon said, um, getting that experience in. That way, when he comes up, he might be one of those game changers for us. Come in and actually, be ready to compete for a first string or maybe even a second string spot. So I think it's a good thing, especially the kid is lacking a couple credits, and that's what it sounds like to me. Anytime someone comes in like that, and then all of a sudden they wind up at the JUCO level, um, they don't recruit them for nothing. They expect for them to come in and contribute, but it sounds like to me maybe a grade or two didn't get reported correctly, and they had to go in and make some adjustments. So again, I think it's a good thing for him. It's only going to benefit him. That way, he's not just sitting on the bench waiting on somebody to get hurt.
Yeah, for me, it's a catch 22. Um, it's like, yes, we would have loved to have the kid on campus, though he's not going to be a day one starter and probably would have redshirted, but practice player and get that experience and learning with USC. But on the other aspect, I'm like, hey man, this kid can go to JUCO. We know this school here, it pushed out the number one tight end in JUCO last year, right? Which we have, Josiah Jefferson. So USC has that recruiting base and ground with that school and that connection. If they can produce the number one tight end, they have a good coaching staff. They can do the same thing with an interior defensive lineman. And with this, he can actually see game time, right? High school and college is different. I don't care if it's high school or JUCO. JUCO is different from high school. It's another level, right? So he can
Mm-hmm.
get it that instead of just sitting down and being a practice player at the JUCO level, he can get that experience. He that game experience going against, a people that's a couple years older than him and things like that. I think it'll fare well with him. Like you said, B, I have to look into this decision by the NCAA because I'm still at a flabbergasted situation as how would this affect, JUCO? Is that still the same? That if you go to JUCO, you don't lose eligibility and you still have those 4 years. That's the part that I'm not clear on, and I got to get with. But even if that's the case, right? If he came to USC, he redshirted, he would lose a year. He go to JUCO, he still come with the new rules, even if they don't take out the JUCO year. He still has 4 years because it's 5 years of eligibility after you graduate or your 19th year. So he still has 4 years on that.
Well, based on what I've read, once you enroll in JUCO, your 5 years starts.
Okay,
Okay, so
so he
they
still
changed it. So
so
they changed it.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did change it. So Leon,
yeah.
he still has 4 years though when he come to USC.
You'll have four
He
years.
still he still has 4 years, right? So I think the reason to go to this 5 year is to get rid of everything, right? So they don't have all these old players. And to you guys that don't know, the NCAA did put this rule in. The new rule is it's 5 years of eligibility to be completed within a 5-year window. It begins upon their full-time college enrollment or the academic year after their 19th birthday, whichever happens first.
Yep.
Right. So this is going to get rid of. It's going to get rid of
Medical red shirts.
what in it's going to get rid of red shirts. It's going to get rid of what Indiana had, right? When you have a team full of 25 and 26 years old playing against 18 and 19-year-olds. That's what it's going to do. So
You know what though? This the only thing I don't like about this rule are the medical red shirts. What if you tear an ACL your freshman year? You rush to get back the next year. And we all know that sometimes those ACLs aren't fully
take a
healed
little
within a
longer,
year, and you
right?
wind up compensating on the other leg, and you wind up hurting another ligament or something like that with those ACL tears. Or what if you tear your Achilles and you try to come back in a year and you wind up getting hurt again? The medical thing kind of throws me for a loop there, man, with this new rule. But
So
I
so
understand what
here
they're trying to do. They don't want to
I
have
understand
28-year-olds
too.
in college. I understand.
Right. So what they're trying to do is, if you think about it, a couple of years ago, Miami had a tight end, right? I mean, he was like on his 8th or 9th year.
I think it
So
was his
what?
ninth season.
Yeah. And so what the NCAA is, they're tired of going to court, spending money, having to go to court, all these lawsuits and all that, right? And so they're clearly defining it as this is what it is. So when they go to court and judges look at it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you don't get another year. This is clearly what's stated in the rules, right?" So they're cleaning that up because it's just so many lawsuits and eligibility cases that they're getting thrown into where people are getting all these extra years and all this type of stuff, right, for eligibility. And this is the NCAA's trying to streamline it to where they say, this is the basic rule. So when they go to court, the judge see this, there's no gray area, right, about all that stuff.
I don't know why they care. Wasn't Chris Winkie, the Florida State quarterback, like 28 years old that year he played?
Well, here's the
It's been
difference.
going on for a long time.
It is, but here's the difference with Chris Winkie. Chris Winkie never was enrolled. I mean, Chris
Yeah, he
Winkie was
played baseball
Chris Winkie was
first.
never
I
enrolled. Yeah, he
I
was in
understand.
baseball and came back then. So it was different. But with this new rule, you won't be able to do that, right?
Listen,
Because it's from your 19th birthday. You got
when I
5 years
when,
for your 19th birthday.
when I played at Delaware State, we had two guys on our team, and I believe they were like 24, 25, but they were from the military. And they once they did their 3 or 4 years, then they came back and they enrolled in college and they was playing college football. So this
Yeah,
is
I was
the
going to
rule,
ask the
and
same thing. What does that do
and
for the BYU players
they get
So
exceptions
you get exceptions for
for
military,
religion?
religious.
Okay,
You get
okay,
you get exception. The only exceptions is religious, military, which Leon just brought up, and pregnancy. So I guess they put that in to account for female athletes for maternity leave.
yeah.
It's if you get pregnant during that time period.
Oh,
Now
that's
I don't
sexist.
know because
That's sexist.
exactly. Well, I
I
was about
got
to
I get
say I have
I get
to.
a
Hold on,
I get a
Leon.
girl
I
I
have
get a
to.
girl. Go ahead.
But before I say that, I have to read more into that because I know in corporate jobs and things now, you get time if your wife get pregnant and all this stuff. I know because I have uh
Paternity leave.
kids recently, but it's at maternity, so I don't think they're gonna account for
But
paternity.
yeah.
But before I put that out there, I want to double check that and try to, and before we put that out there. But let's real fast before we about to get into the show. Shout out BC Blackie Chain, man. You guys make sure you guys check out Like the Torch, him, Guns, Raul, B Jones. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe to them. They go live every Wednesday and Thursday. They gave us a shout out last night. Definitely appreciate you, BC. Shout out to Wayne Mahalan, aka Mitch. I know some people get it confused. They're the same person. Man, he's a regular. He's always on. We appreciate you. OG Lifer, Walter Clark, Marcus, USFO. Appreciate you, my guy. Shout out to you guys, man. We appreciate the support and everything you do. Byron Gray, we appreciate you. Fellas, are you guys ready to get into the first topic of the night?
Yes, sir.
yeah. Let's do it. Marcus says, "What's the deal with Prophet Brown? he going into his 6th year. I think that he did get a medical red shirt last season.
So, from my understanding, it's not going into place now. This everything starts in 2027, so we should be good with Prophet Brown, and also the linebacker that we got from Penn State. That's 25, 26 years old.
Fisher.
So, yeah, it's not going to go in effect until 2027. They're going to honor the kids and everybody that's been practicing now. It won't go into effect until 2027. Shout out to you, Trojan Panda. You guys ready to get into it? If you're ready to get into it, I'm ready to dish out the first thing.
Let's do
Just
it.
tell me you ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Man, Leon, you are our guest, so we're going to start with you. Top 3 things you want to see from USC in 2026 from the football team in this season.
Okay, my number one thing I want to see is defensive line play. And when I'm referring to the defensive line play, I'm talking about something that Chris always brings up every game. He talks about how this particular stat is an empty stat because blah blah blah. But it's that rushing average. We need to see that rushing average come down dramatically. Austin's another person who talks about it. Leon's always making excuses for the D line, but in all actuality, we need to see that rushing average come down. I forget what it was last year. Was it close to 6, Chris? 5 or 6, something like that. It needs to come down something closer to 2, 2.5, 3 at a max. We need to see Alex Van Sumeren, Ja Jarrett, Thanos, Floyd. If the young bulls get in there, G-Day, we need to see all these guys stop the run. We don't need to see players to be unmentioned, push back into the lap of the linebackers. We need to see them locking out, getting penetration in the backfield, and stopping the run. Not allowing the linebackers to read and react to the ball. That's my number one thing. You want me to keep going on the other 2?
Hey,
Chris?
I'm a B. Do you want to each person do all 3, or do we want to? No,
let's do one and move. Let's do one and move.
All right, it's on you, B. What you got?
Special teams. I want to see.
Hey, real fast for you guys. What Leon was just talking about in 2025. In 2025, we gave up dang near 5 yards of carry on the ground.
Yeah.
Kelsey Dickey, shout out to you. Go ahead, B. Sorry to cut you off.
Special teams, I think special teams, well, I don't think I know. Special teams costed us at least 2 games last season. I know one for sure against Notre Dame, we were ahead in the second half, right? Then I think it was a touchdown pass to Jacoby Lane. Very next possession, it's a kickoff return for a touchdown. That's something that we got to clean up. And I'm glad that Nicky Riley hired Mike Eckler. I know he's going to be primarily working with the linebackers, but he does specialize in special teams. So I'm looking for us to clean up some things on special teams. We haven't had a punt return for a touchdown or a kickoff return for a touchdown in a long time. So those are what I call gravy points, that'll help you, especially in those tough games and it also pick up the team, to see, special teams get out there and score, maybe even block a punt, or block a field goal. So I'm looking for us, to add that take that next step and show up those special teams so it could help the offense and the defense out, because that's what it does. It helps both sides of the ball.
For me, I'm gonna have to piggyback with my man Leon, right? He prefaced it with what I always say. My number one thing is stop the run, right? Above special teams, above everything else, is that we could not stop the run, right? We had 3 techniques, 0 techniques. We had our defensive linemen and the linebacker on skates. I mean, my partner B Jinx even said one game, man, just lay people down in the gap. At least they got to hop over them to slow them down, something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I'm with you, Leon. For me, the number one thing I want to see this year is stop the ability to stop the run and bring down that rush average. Like our defensive line is going to have to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. What I mean by that, I don't want to see any stalemates, right? I don't want to. I want to see our defensive line getting penetration, right? On the opponent's other side of the line of scrimmage. I want to see linebackers coming downhill. So for me, it's not just the defensive line, but my number one thing is our front seven. I want to see improvement, and I want to see our front seven play better. Because a lot of times when the defensive line was in stalemates or did get some penetration, linebackers wasn't shooting right gaps. Linebackers wasn't coming downhill. So to me, it all goes together. More importantly, I want to see better defensive line play, but I'm going to say my number one thing is I need to see better play from the front seven.
Hey, Chris, real quick. When I was in high school, we had this guy who was a nose guard, and he wasn't that good. And the coach used to tell him all the time, as soon as you feel the double team, fall down. So that brought back memories when you said that, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't even take credit from that. That's B Jinx. That's all B Jinx said. Do something. I mean, just line them up in the gaps and tell them to lay down. At least they got to jump over them to slow them down or something. It's better than what's. Yeah.
Dr.
All right.
Marcus, USCFO, are you talking about when I made the statement? Who we playing? Illinois that game, and I said if you didn't tell me that we had a new DC, I would have sworn Grinch was back on the sidelines.
That was the same game. That
Illinois,
was
it was the
Illinois.
Illinois game. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
Illinois game.
you said what happened? Did Deontay Lynn stay home and Grinch show up?
Yeah,
They
it was
they they
awesome.
had they had miscommunication on the headphones. Grinch was calling in to please.
Grinch was called. He had called in from home. All right, so who are we on now? We're on number 2, right?
Number 2.
Yes. It's on Leon.
So
What's your second thing you want to see?
B Jinx took my second one, so I'm going to go to my next one. Offensive line play.
Hmm.
And the reason why I say offensive line play is because, again, Chris brings up a lot of times where these empty rushing stats and stuff like that. I think Waymon Jordan was like number 2 or number 3 in the Big Ten in yak yards before he got hurt. Waymon Jordan also rushed for like 6.2 yards per carry. King Miller, I think right around 6.1, 6.2 yards per carry. The problem we had with the offensive line is when we brought in some backups or some walk-on players, they weren't consistent in the big games. So that's the Oregon game, and that's
Hmm.
also the
Notre Dame game.
the Notre
Notre
Dame
Dame.
game. We needed to be consistent with the run, and we weren't. So this year, based on all the experience that we got for the guys who got to play, your Kalon Millers, your Hayden Traders, and those guys, when they come off the bench this year, if they have to come off the bench, I expect there to be no drop off. I expect us to be able to run the ball against anybody. I don't care if it's Oregon defensive line, Ohio State defensive line, Indiana's defensive line. We should be able to run the ball at will, and that's what I want to see this year.
Good point. Good point. Me, I'm up next. I want to give credit. I think Blackie Chan said it in the comments. I want to see us play more physical on the boundaries at the corners. Um, if you notice,
Mm.
last season we would play 8, 9 yards off, and the down and distance would be like 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, and the wide receivers we would play 9 yards off, and then at the snap of the ball we will bail. So the wide receivers will run 2 yards past the sticks and then come right back first down. Either on the 3rd and 7, we will still play 5, 6 yard off and then bail. I want to see us play press man on the outside. Why? Because that gives our defensive line an opportunity, especially the rush ends, to get to the quarterback. Last year, we didn't have that good of a pass rush. We got a few sacks here and there, but our pass rush wasn't good enough to be playing off of the line like that. How do you help out your defensive line? Or prevent those quarterbacks from getting too comfortable back there? You throw off the time on the timing on the routes of the receiver. So I want to see us play press man on the outside, get some bump, be physical, make those Big Ten refs call it. See how far you can go, especially in the first couple of games. See how far you can go with those Big Ten refs. how hands are
Because
they going
they
to let you
be
be?
because they don't call nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't
They
understand why
let
we didn't do it. I don't understand why we didn't do it all season long. I'm like, man, if they're gonna let them play that physical, why don't we play that physical on the
right, they doing
outside?
it to us.
Yeah, they doing it to us. And like I said before, one thing that does is throw off the route of the receiver or the timer. A lot of those passes are timing, or they expect for the receiver to be at in a certain area when that back foot hits. Whether it's a three yard drop, whether a 5 yard drop, they expect for the receiver to be in a certain area. So if you're bumping them and throwing that timing off, now that quarterback is having to go to the what? To the second, maybe even the third read. By that time, maybe a blitz can get home and get him down on the ground. So for me, I want to see our corners be more physical and play bump or press man on the outside.
Right. And I do want to tell everybody we don't know each other answers or anything like that previously. That's the beauty of the show,
Right.
so we can bounce off each other. Uh Leon didn't tell me his answers, B didn't tell me his answers, I didn't tell them, they didn't tell each other. But again, for the second time, I'm gonna have to bounce off B with his first answer. And to me, the second thing I want to see is our special teams play get better, right? Um, there were multiple games, even games that we won where special teams failed. I mean, you look at Purdue, you look at Michigan State, you look at Oregon. That's 3 games where we got a penalty where we could have got a team off the field because somebody wanted to jump over somebody.
Hmm.
I want to see that cleaned up.
Right.
Against Michigan State, right before halftime, we got them in the 3 and out on 4th down. Guess what? We want to jump over the blocker. They got a first down. They went down. Fortunately enough, they missed the field goal. It happened at Purdue as well. They went down. They scored. It happened at Oregon. They missed the field goal. They ended up scoring the TD, right? Stuff like when you have opportunity to get off the field, you have to get off the field. I'm on record as saying that against Oregon, I have never, ever in my life of watching football and playing football from Pop Warner to high school on a college level seen a game or even just watching where every area of special teams failed. In that
Right.
Oregon game, every area of special teams failed. Our kickoff coverage failed. Our kicker kicked the ball off the end zone. Kickoff return, we got penalties on kickoff return. Punt
Hmm.
return, they ran and kicked back. Field goal, we missed the field goal. Field
Right.
goal block, we jump over the center. When they miss the field goal, they go down for every area. Go back and watch the Oregon game, and every area of special teams made a mistake, and I never seen nothing like it. So for me, the second thing I want to see is with Eckler, I need to see improved special teams play. I
Right.
gotta see it. I want to see it. All right, moving on. Leon, what's your third one, my guy?
Like I said before, my special teams was my number two, but I have one more just in
Oh, I'm
case you
sorry.
think.
I'm sorry. I said it was, but B, was that your number one?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my
Okay,
number one
okay.
was
So
special team.
let me
Right. Right.
restate everybody. I took B's number one and Leon's number two. My bad, Leon. Go ahead.
So I had a number four just in case mine got picked. Mine is I want to see Lincoln
Wait,
Riley
wait, wait,
take
wait. You skip. Sorry, you skipping number three?
my number three. My number
He-
two was special teams.
What's your number three? We on three. You went to four.
Yeah, because we've already talked enough about special teams.
Oh, okay, okay. I got
I
you. I
have
got
one in
you.
reserve just in case
Okay,
somebody
so
picked
his
one.
number three is special teams. Go ahead with your alternate, Leon. All right, all right.
My alternate is I need to see Lincoln Riley clean up the play calling.
Mm,
Mhm.
I go back to that Notre Dame game where they tried to do that double pass with Makai Lemon on the boundary and he fumbled the ball. I think we had another play earlier in the year where they did something else kind of funny. We have enough at the quarterback, running back, offensive line. This is USC. We don't need to be doing no trick plays. We can
Mhm.
run standard offense and do whatever we need to do and dominate the way we want to dominate. If you want to be looked at as a physical team, we don't need to be doing trick plays. Run the damn ball.
Right.
The dude. You need if you need to throw the ball. We sat here on the live and talked about it. the 10-yard out is wide open because the defensive back is playing too far off of Jacoby Lane. Just toss the ball out there to him. Football's a simple game. We don't have to do all
Yeah.
these trick plays. And then I'll go to the one game that we were talking about in Illinois where it said, "Oh, Lincoln Riley scored too soon," when we got the turnover from Eric Gentry
Right.
in the fourth quarter, drove all the way down, running the ball, and then he called a pass play on the first pass after the timeout, and Mekhi Lemon caught the ball, and everybody was saying we should have ran the ball. And I just want to see.
Not every. Hold on, Leon. Not everybody. I didn't have a problem
I'm
I
with
was
that.
saying we should have
when I
run the
say
ball. I said
everybody,
it.
I'm
I
I
said
mean
it.
I'm generalizing. I'm generalizing.
Got
I'm
you.
not saying
Got you.
everybody, but I'm just generalizing. And so I just want to see Lincoln Riley just be a more consistent play caller, and show some toughness. You know what I mean? Like you ran the ball a little bit more than you passed this past year. I want to see more of Lincoln Riley showing the toughness of the USC team. And when you want to run the ball, run the ball. Oh, we just got 8 yards on that. Run it again. Let them stop it. Oh, we just got another 6, 7 yards. Run it again. Make them stop it. Like that's what I want to see. So
Okay, I go to my number
Right.
three, and I was one of the ones to say that we scored too fast. We should have run the ball because I knew defensively we couldn't stop anybody. So our only defense is not to leave any time left on the clock. That's our only defense, not to leave any time left on the clock. If you go back and look at, I'm serious. If you go back and look at that Texas A&M game, what happened? We won it. We scored last. Go back and look at that LSU
Same
game.
thing. We scored, and they went
Yeah,
right
yeah,
back down
yeah,
and
yeah.
scored.
You go back and look at that LSU game. We scored last. We won the ball game, right? So it was basically less than 10 seconds left on that clock on both of those games. And these were two primetime games. We talk about beating two SEC teams in one season. So, yeah, I was one of the ones that said that we scored too fast. But my third and final thing that I want to see is that I don't think we've seen in the past couple of years. Sure, they elect offensive and defensive captains, but what we haven't seen is that true dog on the defense, that true leader on the offense to galvanize that team. When you talk about offensively, you look for your quarterback to do that. That's who I expect to do that on offense. When the receiver's in the wrong place, I expect for them to get in, get into them or hold them accountable. I'm not talking about, embarrass the kid, but hey, look, if you have to pull them off to the side, and give them that pep talk, hey, we need you. I'm not looking for the special teams coach to come out there and galvanize the offense or Lincoln Riley to come out there and do it. I'm looking for Jaden Miava to do it. Defensively, who's going to be that guy to step up and light a fire up under these guys and hold them accountable when when they miss an assignment or they fail to check off on a play or cover a zone when they were supposed to be there. Who's going to be that guy? Is it going to be a Christian Pierce out of the secondary? Not a captain. I'm talking about, or maybe a captain, but I'm talking about that guy that's going to hold everybody accountable. It's going to be that defensive lineman. It's going to be Thanos. Even though he's still relatively young, is he in a position or does he have the respect to where the other guys, even the older players, will listen to him when they call in a play and he expects for them to be in a certain position. So yeah, I'm looking for us to have get that guy back. And I remember seeing Eric Gentry one year. I want to say his first year. You could tell Eric Gentry was the leader of that defense. Why? Because when he got hurt in one particular game, you could see him hop out onto the field and really get into those guys. And I want to say we were playing Utah. Maybe it was Utah we were
Yeah,
playing.
it didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, he hopped out on one foot. It didn't work. They still blew
It
the
didn't
lead
work, but
defensively,
but
but he
but yeah,
tried.
I want to see somebody step up and take that torch, and be that defensive captain, the dog to get into these guys and hold them accountable. That's what I want to see, and I felt like we didn't have that last season.
I got
We
Alex
didn't
Van
have that.
Sumeren doing that.
You got Van Simmons doing it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Leon. Expound on that. Then I'll do my thing. Go ahead.
I
You have
just
something
think
to say?
that you're talking about a guy who started 24 straight games at Michigan State.
Mhm.
You go back and watch his film. The defense, the kind of zero tech guy, nose tackle, head up on the center guy you want to see shed double teams, play down and dirty, do all the dirty work. That's him. If you listen to his interviews, how he talks about how much he loves football, how much he wants to be great at football. Having a brother who plays on the Eagles who just won the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
2 years ago, whatever it was. Like he's a hard nosed, I'm gonna make it happen, get on my back type of guy. And I think he's gonna be that guy. Like if you ain't pulling your weight, he gonna let you know. And you can't say nothing to this guy because he gonna work.
Right.
His film shows he gonna work. So if you want to be great, follow me, and we're gonna get the job done. That's
Typically,
how he comes off to
you
me.
would like to see a linebacker take that mantle, right? Typically, because he's right there in
Or
the heart of the
safety,
defense. He's in
safety.
the middle of yeah, safety, yeah, but the heart of the defense to me is the linebacker position. So, ideally, I would like to see a linebacker take that role. I don't know if we have the linebackers on the squad right now to do it. Maybe we got some, that's coming along that maybe in a couple of years they will be in that position. So Leon is right. It may have to be an upperclassman like that, even though he's a transfer. But typically, you want to see the heart of that defense do it, which is the linebackers.
Let me ask you a question, B Jenks.
Yeah.
Do you see any of the linebackers on the USC team that exudes that type of linebacker mentality that we're used
No.
to seeing from back in the day? Like a lot of these guys are young, they jokey. I don't want
Mhm.
my linebackers to
Yeah,
be
yeah. I
jokey.
just said that. I
I want
said
my
that.
linebacker to go out
Yeah.
there and punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, I just said that that I don't think we have one on the roster right now, so it may have to come from Christian Pierce, or it might have to come from a Van Summer, as you mentioned, the zero technique that's over the nose. But ideally, you want your linebacker to be that guy. I remember watching some old film, some old games, and I hate to bring this team up, Alabama. When you talk about a player like a Reuben Foster, when he was at Alabama, this dude was a head hunter, but he held those guys accountable, and you could see him. It resulted in their play on the field. Whatever he would say to them on the sideline or out there on the field, it got those guys riled up and ready to play. So, do we have that linebacker on the team right now? I don't think so, but it may have to come from along that defensive line. I
I
can see
wish
a
we
Thanos doing it. I can see
I,
a Thanos. He has that personality. A Thanos does. He
I
has
wish
that
we had a
personality.
I wish we had a linebacker with Christian Pierce personality. He just be out
Yeah,
there running around trying to hurt somebody. I like that.
yeah,
They better be lucky he ain't 6'3", 240.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yep. Okay. So moving on. So to my third one, uh going last. I'm glad that no one has mentioned this one yet. But my third thing is I need to see us. I want to see, and I need to see us be the top 10 team.
Mhm.
Right. I wasn't top 10. Michigan top 10.
Oh,
That
what did
means
you say? You
we need
said
to.
beat a
I
top
want
10?
yes
Okay.
in 2026. Right in the Lincoln Riley era, beat win a game against the top 10 team, either Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana. Penn State is going to be a tough game on the road, and with their schedule, we'll see if they're in the top 10 when they get there at that point of the season. It's possible they could be. So I'll throw Penn State in there because of their schedule. But we need to be we in the Lincoln Riley era, we have yet to be the upper echelon team. Right? That Michigan team last year was not an upper echelon team. That Iowa team last year was not an upper echelon team. We need to beat someone that we're not favored to beat, and we need to get that signature win. So for me in 2026, I want to see us get that big win. That's that's my third one for 2026. Before we
Iowa's
move on,
Iowa's
go ahead.
was Iowa's a pretty good team, man. They only lost to Indiana but beat Oregon, right? Didn't they beat Oregon?
Oregon was not a contender to win the Big Ten or the national championship last year. So when I say
But
a top
Iowa
10 team,
typically
They made
fields tough teams, though, is what he's saying.
I
yeah,
And I agree
understand.
with.
and
I
they're deep.
understand what I
And they're,
understand. I understand what he's saying, right? And who all they lost to. But what I'm saying, that's not a signature win. That's
and their
not a.
defense was like ranked in the top 10.
I understand that, but that was not a top 10 upper echelon team, right? They were not. They were beneath us. We were picked to win that game. We were picked to win that game, right? That doesn't count. When I say a top 10 team, I'm talking about we have yet in the Lincoln Riley era to win a signature win, to have that signature win.
Oh, you don't consider two SEC teams in one season signature wins?
No, LSU wasn't top 10. Texas A&M wasn't a
It's
top
still the
win. Top,
SEC. It's
They
still
were a
the
it
top.
doesn't
SEC though.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's the
Wasn't
SEC.
LSU a top 15 that year? We
hold
beat them the first game of the
on,
season.
hold on. No, they were not a top 10
Let me
team.
let me hold on.
But
I think they were top
time out.
15. I think they were top 15. I think they were top
That's what
15.
Right. So what I'm saying is, and then that was the first game of the season. They was that. If you look where they ended at the end of the year, they wasn't a top 15 team.
It was our first game too, but Chris, you just can't,
No. Listen to what I'm
can't
saying.
do that. Hey, listen.
Listen to what I'm saying.
LSU
I
was
get what you're
13th in the
saying.
country when we beat them.
I get what you're saying.
Okay. That was the first game of the season. Where did they end?
It don't matter. Okay.
We talking about when we played. Yeah, I agree with you where we ended.
No.
I get that. I get that.
Game of the season. Time out. Hold on. The first game of the season is going off of what? Projections of what you got coming back last year, this and that. But what you end up at the end of the year shows how good of a team you actually was that year.
Well,
me,
I can't actually say that because you got attrition that happens during the season, which could derail your season. Now we talk about where you are. That's our first game too.
I was just about to ask Chris that question. So let's say Oregon is ranked 3rd in the country and we beat them this year, right? And they start having injuries and wind up outside the top 10. You're saying that that's not a good win.
That's what you're saying.
That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, if Oregon, when we play them and they're top this, and they go on to lose 4 or 5 or 6 game, 3, 4, 5, 6 games at the end of the year, and they're not protected. No, that's not a good win because they got beat by a whole lot of people.
They could lose 2 games and be out of the top 10. That's my point. If we beat them, if they're in the top 10, say they're ranked number 9 or 10, and we beat them, and they fall out of the top,
they're not going to be 9 or 10. They're going to be top 5.
No, this is hypothetical because everything we're talking about is hypothetical. If they are ranked in the top 10 and we beat them, right? And say they fall out and then they beat somebody else and they jump back in, they fall out again. They're 10-2 and not ranked in the top 10. You're saying that's not a good win because we didn't beat the top 10 team.
I'm not saying that because they're not the top 10. Because if they're 10-2, they're still eligible for the playoffs. They're still fighting for a playoff spot.
That's not what you said. You said we need to be a top 10 team, and we asked you to clarify, and you said they have to finish the season inside the top 10. That's why I was asking for clarification.
No. Oh, I got you. So where we're going at is we haven't beat a team that ended in the top 10 all year in the Lincoln Riley area.
We haven't
beat a team. Time out. Hold on. Let me talk. We haven't beat a team.
I'm agreeing with you, Chris.
Hold on. Let me explain. We haven't even beat a team that when we played them was ranked in the top 10.
I agree.
Okay. What I'm saying is, for me this year, I want that signature win. We need to beat somebody we're not expected to beat. That Oregon, that Indiana, that Ohio State. For me, what I want to see this year is for us to take the next step and for a national level to change the perspective of what USC is and USC football is, and that is to beat an actual contender, a Big Ten contender that has a shot at winning the Big Ten championship, a national title contender. We haven't done that yet.
Chris, and all I'm asking you is,
let me ask you a question. Were we favored against LSU? At the beginning of last season? No, we were not.
No.
Just because they don't end up like that, you have to gauge the teams where you are at the time you guys played. At the time we played LSU was a top 13 team. A top 15 team. We were not projected to beat them. We beat them.
We were 23 in the country.
So let me tell you this. And we can end this.
Okay.
You keep saying top 15. Did I not say top 10?
I'm talking about a good team. Do you consider top 15?
No. My statement was
switching though, Chris. You switched it, Chris.
No, I didn't.
Hold on.
Yes, you did. I agree with you.
B-Jinx said, wasn't LSU a good team? And you said, well, that was a projection. If you actually remember, their quarterback was ranked one of the top quarterbacks in the country. They had 2 All-American. Nussmeier.
Let's go back to why.
Let me finish. They had 2 All-American offensive tackles. They were expected to run that ball down our throat and win that game, and they didn't win. That was a good win at the time. That was a good win.
time out. Did I not say? I didn't say it was a good win. What I said is that in my initial thing, what was my initial statement? What I want to see this year, I want us to beat a top 10 team. Is what I said from my initial thing. A certified national championship contender, which we haven't done yet. Plain and simple. You guys are bringing me up a 13 team, a 15 team. I said top 10 win.
I also asked you to clarify. I said if we beat a top 10 team and then that top 10 team is not in the top 10 at the end of the year, is that a good win for you? And you said no. You said no.
Right. No. I didn't say no. What I said is it depends. It depends on the games and how many games they lost. Because here's the thing. If you come into the season week 1 and you rank look at Florida State last year, what they did, right? And they lost a whole lot of games. We seen once they got on the field, they was not a good team compared to their projection.
They also had a lot of injuries. And Chris, what I'm saying is if Oregon loses, they lost all their wide receivers last year, right? Evan Stewart and all those guys got hurt. What if they lose their top running back? What if they lose Dante Moore? Or what if Ohio State loses Jeremiah Smith and they have a free fall? That doesn't mean they're not a good team. They lost their best player. And that's why I said, what if a team like Oregon, who's ranked 3, and we beat them, and then they have a bunch of injuries and fall out the top 10? Is that still a good win? And you said no.
Well, if they was fully,
things can happen.
Hold on. If they was fully stocked when we beat them and they had everybody, yes, it's a good win. But if they fully stocked the rest of the season and they start losing, as LSU did the year that we beat them, then no, it's not a good win. They just wasn't that great of a team as they were projected week 0.
All right, Trojan Pounder says, gentlemen, if we beat the Zeros, God willing, both programs are completely healthy. That is a solid victory. Can't be no excuses. I agree with that 100%.
I agree with it too. All I'm saying is we can't worry about what happens when we beat them. We can't worry about what happens to that team after we beat them. If they lose 2 or 3 games, we beat them when they were number 3. That counts. Period. End of story. What
I'm saying is, if we play a team week 1, like we played LSU, and their projection was 13, right? That's going. Nobody has seen them play. We already know the polls and all them people don't know what they're doing, and they do these rankings. And you beat a team week 1, and then you get into the season and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're losing to all these other teams. That tells you that their projection was totally off, and they wasn't as good as the team as they was projected to be.
Not all the time they have injuries. Not all the time they have injuries.
But sometimes injuries can derail that, though, Chris.
What injuries did LSU have that year?
But what I'm saying is this: you don't know that when they start.
No, they did not that year. No, stop.
But what I'm saying is this: you have to account for the unknown. You don't know that when they start. That's why they call projections. So when you start the season, they're projecting you to be there off of your current roster and what you're bringing back. That's what you're projected to do. If somehow, unfortunately, along the way they lose a couple key players, left tackle, running back, starting linebacker, and they start to slide, like Leon is saying, chances are they may not end where they started.
Okay,
and,
so let me tell you.
And I'm gonna tell you right here, Chris. I was
best right here.
Hold on.
I was absolutely correct. They lost Harold Perkins in week 4 to an ACL injury. They lost their starting running back. They lost their starting linebacker, and they lost their starting defensive tackle. They lost several key defensive players after we played them. So that's why the team went down. Injuries have a key. Okay.
Hold on, B. Let me ask you this, because you just said that in week 1 their projections are going by what they have come back and all that, right?
Right.
How many times have we stated that preseason projections and rankings is wrong? Well, you don't know how good a team is. Time out. You don't know how good a team is until they play the game.
Yeah, well, you got to take that up with ESPN. You got to take that up with
CBS.
No.
I understand it,
but what I'm saying,
you're missing the point. You're missing the point to what I'm saying, though. You're missing the point to what I'm saying.
I get the
point of what I'm saying is The same way you're
also
saying.
Vegas
Time
also
out.
set these Vegas also set the lines,
Time
the
out.
over under on the seasons on projections of what these teams got coming back. That's how Vegas predict the records. So you're
Okay, I
saying is
understand that. So
the people at
why
Vegas
can
wrong?
you time out. So you're talking about projections before they play on the field. What I'm
Everybody
talking
does,
about
Chris.
is when they actually play the game and you see what they have and how good they actually are.
That's still
So
after
what?
that's still after the
Time out.
fact though, Chris. That's after the fact though, bro.
Time out. So you're saying projections trump what they actually do on the field and what you see and how good they are.
No, I'm saying that
No.
you can't tell until they actually play. However, leading up to
That's
that
exactly what I'm saying.
But hold
So
on,
we're saying,
hold on, Chris. But what you're doing is you're proving the point that Leon and I are talking about. Before you play
no.
the game, hold on, Chris. Wait a minute. Just wait, Chris. Before you play that game, everybody's projected to be in the top 25, especially the top 10. How do they project that? From what you got coming back, right? Now, ideally, let's just say for conversation purposes, everybody stays healthy on every team and there's no attrition. And it works out to where, hey, every team in the top 10 who doesn't play each other wins and they go all the way to the playoff with no injuries. Then, yeah, if you play one of those teams and you beat a top 10 team, yeah, that could potentially happen. However, because of attrition, because you get out there and you play, the projections are thrown off. Why? Because you have those injuries during the season. So if you do lose a key player, it's a good possibility that, hey, look, that key player was a major contributor to your team, and now you don't have that player. You have to play a backup. Like we had to play backup offensive linemen all season long,
and I
especially
have a
starting with the Oregon game.
and Walter Clark has a great debate today.
What's
Last
that?
year, the projection for Penn State coming in was that they was going to win the national championship. They was ranked in the top. Before they had injuries, before they lost their quarterback, they had lost 3 or 4 games because that was based off of projection, not their actual play on the field.
But what I'm saying is the projections are done before they even play, though, Chris, is what we're
I
saying.
understand. And what I'm saying is we're going off of projection and saying because in week 1, you're projected at this as number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 5. And then when you actually get on the field and you play and we see you play and you play teams of worth, then it shows that projection was wrong. You're not that good of a team. That's what I'm saying.
It's a circular. Hold on, it's a circular argument, man. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's move on
That's
to the
what
next
I'm
thing.
saying. Before we move on, because Leon brought this up. Leon, do you understand what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying, Leon, because you're saying injuries can affect and all that. Penn State didn't have injuries last year. They were projected number 1 coming in, and that they was going to go to the national championship. They didn't have injuries and all that. They got to the field, and they just wasn't that good of a team as what they were projected to be.
Chris,
Plain and simple.
You brought an example that furthers your case. I brought up LSU to further my case. Let's split the baby in.
We got to split it, man.
No. What I want you to, I just want to, I understand your point. Do you understand where I'm coming from as far as when they actually get to the field, right? So we agree there.
I just wanted you to give me what you mean. I said if a team starts in it, we'll bring it up on the phone call. We'll come back.
We'll come back to that.
All right.
We'll come back
because we spend a lot of time on that, so we haven't even got to the next one. Leon, it's on you. What do you think? No, number 2. What is your underrated player for 2026 nationally? Just so everybody know, Phil still put out a list for his preseason All-American. USC only has 4 people on there, and you're going to be shocked by this if you haven't seen it already, right? Not by the first 3, right? So this is in the preseason All-American, right? In the Big Ten, there's 4 teams. So Jaden Milva made it. Waymon Jordan made it. Jontez Williams, the cornerback coming back from injury, made it. This is what shocked me the most. For linebacker, Jaden Walker, who we don't even have projected as a starter. But Leon, who's your underrated player that the nation's not looking at coming for USC this year?
USC fans, if you guys watch 4th and 9, you already know the name I'm about to say because I think this guy's going to have a great year. However, I look at guys like King Miller, who wasn't on Phil Steele's list, Cam, Tanook Hines, but my breakout player, the player I think that is underrated vastly by even the fans, is Desmond Stevens. I've been talking about this guy since last year. People think I'm crazy. Austin always talks about I'm talking out of my butthole because I keep bringing up Desmond
Where is
Stevens.
Austin? Where
But
is Austin,
I
man? I ain't got
He's
his
probably
number.
come on
Tell me
over
the
I
there.
man.
haven't seen him in the chat, and I've been looking in the chat. But here's the thing, though. We're talking about a guy who played wide receiver, cornerback, and I can't remember the other, maybe safety when he was in high school. He comes to USC. He gets a little bit of run his freshman year, and then he gets full time access to the starting inside linebacker, you know, last year. And he led the team in tackles for the whole entire team. And we've seen what he can be in that game against TCU. I have Desmond Stevens being on All American this year, whether it's honorable mention, third team, second team. I got him being there. I
That's
have that
tough,
much faith in
Leon.
him.
That's
And
tough, man.
here's the other thing. I think a lot of what we've seen from him was because of the the poor play that we saw on the defensive line. It is hard to
The
play linebacker.
consistency. You talking about the
The
inconsistencies of
inconsistency. Thank you, B Jinx. You
it?
know what I mean? That education showing off. But
Yeah.
it's hard to play inside linebacker if you got guys being pushed in your face. It's hard to play inside linebacker when you haven't played that position a whole lot and you're learning the position. I also think we upgraded at coach at that position with Mike Eckler. So I expect Desmond Stevens to have a great year. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I got confidence in that young man.
Okay, my pick is going to be Jade Adversary. That's my pick. That's who my pick is going to be. We talk about a guy that's impressive, who made some noise last season. I can't remember whether or not he got injured, maybe a couple games, but when you hear that defensive line, you don't hear his name too much. You mainly hear Van Summer and you hear Thanos, you hear Floyd Boucard, you hear maybe even Cam Crawford, but the name that you don't hear that often is Jade Adversary. So I expect for him to make that next leap. He's one of those kids that loves to work out. He's going to be in a better system. I think the system that Gary Patterson is going to implement is going to free him up a lot to work off the edge. And I'm thinking he's coming off the edge. I don't think he's going to be inside, is he? I think Jade. I think
I
he
think he's
played
gonna be
some
both.
inside last season though,
He
but
did both.
he did both. Yeah.
He he
So
st- he started inside a lot of games. He
uh
started
huh.
on the inside, but he
hmm
did both.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to be Jade Adversary. I know I've been real high on Cam Crawford and here recently Braden Shelby, but I think somebody's spot gone next season, well, this upcoming season. I think Jade is going to have one of those spots. I think a lot of people sleeping on that kid.
Yep, man, and I'm picking back off my guy B Jinx. He stole mine.
I
As you
did.
guys, as you guys all know, I've been harping on it since the end of the season, saying that Jade Abisari is going to be that guy. He's the most underrated player on the national level that no one's talking about. When he came back from injury, man, he was a problem, right?
Right.
Go back and look when he came back from injury against those last three games, Oregon, UCLA, and all that. I mean, he was constantly in the backfield. He got sacks. They couldn't do nothing with him. So
hmm
my most underrated player that on the national level they ain't looking at. I was torn because it's crazy that Jakeem Stewart was a freshman All-American, and somehow he didn't make Phil Steele's list, right? You would think he would be on there, at least 1, 2, 3, or fourth team. He wasn't even on there. But I'm gonna go with Jade Abasari. I don't think on the national level people just realize it, right? And you right, B. He did have an injury. He did miss the game, but when he came back, TCU, UCLA, and all them games, go back and look at those games. He was a problem. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? He
Yeah.
he he was a problem. And what sticks out to me about the preseason All American list is crazy for the Big Ten. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's crazy, but it was shocking because Jaden Walker is not even a starter, and somehow Jaden Walker was put in over Desmond Stevens and the linebacker from Washington. So I'm not sure where Phil Steele got that from or why he went into that direction.
Jaden Walker looked
he did
solid when he
start
was
games
in
like-
there.
Yeah, he started against Notre Dame.
Yeah, he looked solid when he was in there, man.
We're not gonna go down that path, but I don't even know if Jaden Walker start. It'll be week 0. Will be starting.
Who do you think is going to start?
I think Stevens and the transfer from Washington going to be our starting linebackers.
I think I bet $20 is Jaden and Stevens.
I like
Jaden.
I like Jaden. I like Jaden.
I think it's going to be the transfer from Washington and Stevens.
Oh no!
But
I agree with that Trojan Pounder. Look at what Trojan Pounder says. He says Elijah Page, God willing, he stays healthy, could totally dominate at his position. He makes All-American, will go in the top. I agree with, but he just got to stay healthy though.
He has to stay healthy.
His problem.
And I think that's why he didn't make first, second, third, or 14 on the list. Because I can't think of.
Did he sit out last season? Was it like 3 or 4 games? The first 3 or 4 games he sat out?
No, he started the first game, but he missed like 5 games last year.
Yeah,
so he got to stay healthy, man.
Go and come back. You know what I'm saying?
Now he has the measurables, Trojan Pounder. He has the measurables to be that top 10 NFL draft pick and to make All-American. He does, but you got to be available, man.
Hey, listen here, Elijah
but
Page.
To me, there's not 4 tackles in the Big Ten that you can name that's better than him. So it's all about injury to why he didn't make this list. And can he stay healthy?
Elijah Page, he better be careful because if he gets hurt this year, he might not get that job back.
You talking about with Pepe on this
team? Pepe, Elijah Valcona, man.
They were looking at Valcona to play the right side though.
Valcona played on the left side last year. When he got in, he was on the left side. I put it to you like this: if Elijah Page gets hurt, he might not get that job back. It's 3 dudes. You got a guy who started 12 games last year, and Jason Tuano at the right tackle. You got the number 1 overall draft pick in about 2 or 3 years in Pepe, and then you got Elijah Valcona, the guy they call the Mountain. You better stay healthy. That's all I gotta say. Better stay healthy. And he missed 5 games last year.
Gotcha. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to question 3. We're going to start with you, Mr. Leon. What do you think the impact would be in year 1 of Eckler on the special teams and GP on the defense? What's your expectation? What do you expect to see with the new coaching staff at those position groups?
Well, I'm not going to. Okay. You said Eckler specifically on special teams. Listen.
So Eckler would come in to coach special teams, and GP coming to take over the defense.
I was about to start touching on Eckler and the linebackers again, but I'll leave that alone. Special teams.
No. You can put that in there because he's doing both. You're right. You can do that.
Okay. I'll follow back on that. But in the special teams, I expect USC to be ranked in the top 10 in the country in terms of special teams. When Eckler went to Nebraska, they were ranked 86 before he got there. That following year, they were ranked 3rd in the country. That's the kind of impact he has on a program when he comes in. I'm just going to read off some stats here for you guys just real quick.
Go ahead, Leon.
Okay. Their punt return average, and this is Nebraska, jumped from 4.9 to 13.6 yards per carry. Their kickoff returns jumped to 35 yards per return. They had blocked field goals in punts that year. When he was the Tennessee Volunteers special teams coach, they finished in the top 25 in the SEC in the country. They were 3rd in block kicks. They were 4th in block punts. They were 6th in return defense, 15th in punt return average, and 22nd in net punting. Basically, he is the GOAT of special teams coaches that we have now at USC. And then on top of that, he's a great linebackers coach, former linebacker coach at USC. He's used to coaching college kids. I think we're going to see a jump on not only him as a linebacker coach, but especially him as a special teams coach. And we heard B Jig say his first top one expectation is he wanted to see a jump in special teams. And I think Mike Eckler is going to do exactly that. We're going to be very, very happy with what we see from our special teams.
All
Oh, and
right,
you
B.
asked, and go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. You gonna touch on
Finish up,
linebackers?
finish
Go
up,
ahead,
finish up.
Leon.
No. I finished up on the linebacker. I mean, it's
Yeah,
On to you, B.
for me, I agree with Leon. It's going to be the linebacker play. You have to remember, and I can't remember whether or not you said it, Leon. He was here before, and I can't remember what season was he here. Was it Kiffin's first season he was in?
2013, I believe.
2000.
I think it was 2013.
So it was Kiffin's last year there. And Deion Bailey raves about him. You know, he speaks highly of it. I want to say so Craven does too. So anything that's going to help that second level of our defense, I think is going to be improvement. I do expect for Gary Patterson, with him being the defensive genius that he is, to give us some different looks, confuse the quarterbacks post, what you call pre and post snap. Um, I think that from a special team standpoint, Eckler, with that being one of his specialties, I think we're going to see some improvement along the special teams. I just want to. I don't want to. I don't want to see us get in a position to where we continue to regress, even though we bringing in these new coaches, right? Because that means you have a talent problem. If we don't see any improvement this season, it could be a talent issue. Are they doing their due diligence with identifying the top talent? So I'm going to say yes. I expect for our defense to look a whole lot better, especially in those big games. I mean, we don't have any problem with outscoring people. Riley can outscore, the lower to mid-level teams. We've always had a problem, especially since Riley came aboard, with stopping somebody, stopping a run. So can we play on the other side of the ball defensively on that defensive line? Can we get a stop when we need to get a stop? Does Riley always feel a need to be pressed to score, to come up with a big play so we can get ahead? And I want to say Chris has mentioned this several times before, especially with Lynn's defense. We played better when we were 2 scores ahead. Are we going to be in a position where we have to be 2 scores ahead on these good teams in order to win these close field ball games, especially on the road?
Yep. And to that, great segue, B, my guy. My expectation, since you segue, let's talk about with GP as the defensive coordinator, right? My expectation is that we get more 3-and-outs, right? My expectation is teams are not going to be able to run the ball on us whenever they want to. My expectation is 3rd and 7, teams are not going to be able to run the ball and get a first down, right? With GP, we're going to see a more aggressive approach. The difference between GP and Lynn was more of sit back, let you work your way down the field, hope the offense make a mistake, come up and tackle, see if they don't have penalties and get behind the sticks. My expectation is to see a more aggressive attacking defense. If you guys haven't seen the film breakdown that we did on GP, go back and check it. And what he do on the back end, we'll get one come out. What he do on the front end to stop the run. But my expectation for the defense with GP coming is that teams are not going to run the ball down our throats no more like they've been able to in this, not in the Riley era, but since Pete Carroll left, right? A lot of times we say the defense hasn't been up to par since the Riley era. The defense hasn't been up to par since Pete Carroll left. Let's be honest. We have not had a dominant defense since the Pete Carroll days.
Since 2008.
Even when we had Sam Darnold and all that, we had to outscore people. That defense wasn't stopping anybody. You know what I mean? Look at that Rose Bowl and that Penn State game. It was a shootout. Look at all the games that we lost in there. They were all shootouts, right? We didn't have it up front. With the experience and young guys we have coming back along the defensive line, I expect us to have a better defense. And when I say better defense, with GP and the players we got, the expectation is at least in year one, top 30 defense, right? With Eckler, I do expect to see more explosive plays in the return game. Like you said, B, we haven't returned a kick or a punt return since Zachariah Branch year one, and that was against San Jose State, right? Against lower competition.
Right.
I can't remember that. I can't remember the last time we blocked a field goal or a punt, right? It's so hard. My memories are just looking from last year and how bad the special team played, and we couldn't even get off the field on fourth down when the defense did make a stop because of fourth down penalties and all that within the special team. My expectation is that within that we should have improved special team play. Leon broke it down fantastically with what Eckler can do and what he has done in the past. That alone right there should, to me, at least count for a win, right? You look at the Notre Dame game. You look at, I don't know if Leon's saying 2 games or fight on. Which
two
one?
games. 2 games.
Hey, look, I don't know if he's saying fight on or 2 games.
Yeah, I know what he meant.
To me, I think it account for, because if you look at our special teams play last year, we talked about it earlier. Well, I talked about it earlier. Even in games we won, special teams performed poorly. We were just a superior team. But what it's going to come down to, when you play the Oregons, right? When you play the Indiana, Ohio State, you have to win. You have to be on par all 3 areas: offense, defense, and special teams. You can't be giving up kick returns. You can't be giving up punt returns. You can't get the team off the field and you give them a first down because you jumping over somebody and that type of stuff. So I think with Eckler and the attention that we've been seeing, well, I can't say been seeing, we don't get to see much, but what we're hearing coming out of spring ball and all that, and the attention to special teams that the team has been playing, I expect very, very better. Shout outs to you, Richard. Y1000 special teams play. Linebacker play, Eckler said it, that even Ray Charles can see it, that these kids got talent and they can do all this. So I'm going to hold you to it. Just like I'm holding Riley, just like I'm holding Chad Bowden to it. You say you have the team, you have the roster. This is a year to make a run. This is not a year for excuses. Like, if you guys are talking this talk and you saying this is what you're seeing, I need to see it in fall. You don't let me see it in spring. You don't let me see it in a spring game. So the expectation is what you're telling me and what you're saying coming out of camp, that's the expectation. So I expect the linebackers to play a whole lot better than last year, come downhill, fill the right gaps. I believe with the defensive line play, like B said, defensive line play better. You don't have linebackers with, their own 3 technique in their lap at 5 or 7 yards, right? So that is that.
Can I add one? Can I add one? Let me add one.
Go ahead, B. Yeah.
I want to see us be able to punch the ball into the end zone on the goal line.
That's a good one.
Was it TCU game made me sick to my stomach that we were on the 2-yard line and we ended up on the 20-yard line.
We end up in like 3rd and 20 in overtime
like
when we had to add
because go ahead, Leon.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna add on when you're done.
We couldn't block the interior defensive line because we couldn't block the interior defensive line and get King Miller into the end zone, which I think would have put that game away. So I want to see us and I think you mentioned it earlier, Chris. When they know, or maybe it was Leon, when they know we're going to run the ball in a short down situation like that, and they can't do anything about it. I don't want to see any reverse handoff to the wide receiver sweeping to the end zone to the pod or to the pod on the in the end zone inside of the 3-yard line. I don't want to see us have to do a play action fake quarterback sweep pass to the tight end and the tight end pass it back to the quarterback on the 3-yard line.
You just want to line up man on man. We bigger than
man
you.
On man, hat, what you call that? Hat on hat.
Hat on hat.
Look, if even if it means our quarterback has to go on the center, go on the center and quarterback sneak. I want to see something involved with us either handing the ball off or the quarterback pushing the pile into the end zone. That's what I want to see. No more passes on the 2 and the 3 yard line. I don't want to see that.
Do you guys remember during the season last year? And
Oh,
we
hold
were
on,
about,
Leon, hold on real fast. And a year before when we was down on the 1 yard line against Washington and we couldn't score
Yeah,
either, running the
yeah.
ball 3 touch straight. Go ahead, Leon. My bad.
there was quite a few games last year where we were talking about this exact thing. And I remember I said, why won't they put Walter Matthews and maybe one of them big offensive or defensive linemen in the backfield and just have a whole bunch of beef back there? You know, they tried that in the TCU game and still couldn't score.
Just because the offensive line couldn't block.
Hey, Leon, when the defensive line is getting that much penetration,
Yeah, there's
but
nothing you could do.
yeah, it don't matter who you got back there, and
I
you
was
on the
like,
2 yard line.
I was like, you got a 280-pound tight end, and then you got a 360-pound lineman in the backfield, and you still can't run the ball in. Come on, man. Come on. Let's get it together.
At Marcus, my guy, USFO, man. I'm a little old, man. Some of the stuff he's saying, I don't know what it means. What BOB mean? B. I don't know. Do you guys know what BOB means?
Body on body.
Body on body.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right, but yes, Marcus. Yes. Man, I'm sorry. I'm a little older. I'm a little older now. I just had a birthday, and I don't know that text language. And I'm sorry, brother.
I don't want to
But
hear
yes,
that.
body on body.
I'm 52. I don't want to hear that. I know what it meant.
I didn't. I'm sorry, man. Look, and my kids ain't. Oh, big on big. Okay.
Big on big.
Yeah,
Okay.
Big on big. Yeah, makes sense. Big on big.
Yes. And my kids ain't old enough. I be asking my wife.
Either
somebody
way,
be texting me.
I want to see us
B.
punch the ball.
B,
What's that?
People be texting me. I be asking my wife, man, what this mean? Because I don't what they talking about.
Yeah. Either way, I want to see us line up and run the ball when they know we're going to run it. I don't want to see any passes on the 2 and 3 yard line. I don't want to see us start off on the 2 yard line, end up on the 15 or the 20, especially because of penalties, but mainly because of defensive line penetration, and we can't turn around and hand the ball off. I want to see us improve on that.
Yeah, I agree. And basically what you're saying is we need to be able to run the ball when we want to run the ball, no matter if they know it's coming or not. No matter if they know it's coming or not. We don't need a 4th and 1 like in Michigan, and Waymo got to juke 2 people in the backfield to get the first down.
That was a beautiful run. That was a beautiful run, though.
Even with that, though, even with that being a beautiful run, that means somebody missed an assignment.
It shouldn't happen, right?
He should be dodging people in 5 yards in the backfield. He should be dodging linebackers 5 yards down the field, not dodging. You know what I'm saying? Defensive ends in the backfield, or defensive tackles in the backfield. He shouldn't have to do a jump cut time he get the ball. That's what I don't want to see. Our running back have to jump cut as soon as he get the ball. As soon as Bible puts the ball in the hand, he has to jump cut. I don't want to see that.
All right, hey, I I'm sorry, I'm tickled, but I agree. BB so serious, so I know he mean it. Trojan Panda, appreciate you. Yes, fellas, hit that like button, subscribe, man. We'll have another video coming out this week. We'll be doing. We put something new out this week that we're testing out. Yeah. Man, it do take some time, man. So we're gonna continue to do it. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and we'll get you another Get into the game out this week. Going on. So the new eligibility model approved by the NCAA for 2026, right? The players receive 5 years of eligibility. We kind of talked about it earlier, right? Those 5 seasons must be used within 5 years of the eligibility window. The eligibility clock starts when you turn 19 or when you enroll in college. There's going to be a time frame for all the waivers. The exceptions are pregnancy, active military service, or official religious missions. The transfer portal, players can still transfer multiple times and be admitted and be eligible after. I think they need to fix that, but that's not the case. It is. And the house settlement roster changes beginning in 26 Division I schools, including those in the Power Four conferences, move from scholarship limits to roster limits. It's part of the House settlement. This affects how many players teams can carry, even though schools have greater flexibility. The NCAA, they say they did this. The goal was to simplify eligibility rules. So, of course, we all know they can stop getting sued. There's no gray area, right? It's 5 years and that's it. Help judges rule in their favor. Prevent players from remaining in college for 7, 8, or even 9 seasons. Reduce the lawsuits of eligibility waivers, and make roster planning easier for coaches. So with these new rules going on, Leon, we're going to start with you. Does these new rules benefit USC, or what are your take on it? Or do you think this hurt us as a program?
Okay, people in the comments, don't shoot the messenger. Okay. To be honest with you, I don't know how this is going to affect USC. And the reason why I say this is because now the whole thing about holding your kid back and then, reclassifying, that might be over. Because
Mm.
now, because now you can't hold your kid back until he's 19 and all that kind of stuff. The other thing I see about this is,
Well, you can, because the clock don't start until you're 19, so it depends how long they hold them back.
yeah, but some of these kids get held back 2 years.
Yeah.
But here's the bigger thing. If once a kid does graduate high school, he gonna want to play. There's no more I'm sitting on the back taking a red shirt. I want to play. So does this now start to spread the talent throughout college football because kids don't want to wait anymore? You get a quarter.
But they ain't got to think about it like this. They're getting 5 years, so they still get, like, that first year is kind of like a red shirt year if they don't play the first year. So it's still the same as you taking a red shirt and then playing 4 years.
But I don't see the kids wanting the red shirt no more. I mean, I don't see the kids wanting to wait. I have a feeling that we're going to see the talent disperse even more so than it is now.
But wouldn't it be I guess my question is, but what you're saying, wouldn't it be the same? Like, even if you had a red shirt year and you can play 4 years, it's the same coming out, that because it's all 5 years.
Well,
I think we're missing an element here. I think the element.
Hold on, let's. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cut off. Let's let Leon get his point out. I shouldn't have cut him off. Go ahead, Leon.
But I think if you're looking at the top teams like an Ohio State, like a Georgia, like a USC, like a LSU, like a Texas Tech, where they're starting to hoard all this talent. Like, just look at our cornerbacks, for example, right? You have a guy in Selly who started last year. They brought in Chase Johnson, who got hurt, who was the starter at UCF. You got Jontez Williams that came in that got transferred in, who people got him automatically starting. And then you got 5 stars behind them in Elbert Hill and RJ Sermons. I don't see with this rule anymore where people are going to want to sit behind all that talent. And at those schools I mentioned, the schools that we always see at the top, the Oregons and all these guys, I don't see kids wanting to sit anymore and wait. They're going to be like, I'm going to get my 2 or 3 years and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I could be wrong, and I could be reading this entirely wrong, but I just think there may be a new disbursement of talent throughout college football. Now, from a fan perspective, I think that's going to be great because that means all the games are going to be good. But I could be wrong.
Well,
and Hussein Longstreet, I was going to bring up that as an example, but
who else transferred a lot like that? Wasn't it the kid that came in with Makai Lemon? What was the quarterback name?
Malachi Nelson.
Nelson. I don't know whether or not they changed the rule with regards to the amount of games that a kid can play before he can redshirt in the season. I think it was up to 8 or 9.
It's gone.
It's gone too.
Gone. No, it was 4, and then you can redshirt, but that's all gone. Now you get 5 years. That's it.
No, I thought they bumped it up to 9 games. Didn't they?
No, they were trying. They were trying to, but that never. The coaches have voted on it, but the NCAA never approved that. But now with this new thing,
they're trying to do is
5 years. That's it. You get 5 years, and that's it.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is they're trying to cut down on the transfer portal. Is what they're trying to do.
They're trying to cut down. What they're trying to cut down on is grown men playing college football. They're trying
that's
to cut
true,
down
but that's as a result of the transfer portal, right? There's a cause and effect. So if you got this kid that comes to a program, stays for 3 or 4 months, then transfers, to another program, keeping his same amount of eligibility. Eventually, he's going to do what? Get old, right? So you got some kids out there that's on their 6 and 7 program within a 4 or 5 years period, and because of COVID,
I
COVID
was
is
about
what kicked this thing off.
COVID is
Yeah,
Well,
what's
yeah,
going.
COVID has been over. The
yeah,
COVID
it's been
exemption
over,
been over.
but we're
But
just
those
seeing
players are
the tail
still in
end of
college
those kids.
football.
Yeah, well now we're starting to see the tail end of those kids leave out.
Yeah,
But because of COVID gave them some of them an extra year,
extra
then
year,
you have to count for any type of injury they
redshirt.
may have had, or they get there and they don't like the program. Now they're starting to leave and jump ship, but the clock is starting over. So yeah, you're gonna get there. I think it's gonna hurt the kids that's jumping in the portal, which means that once you commit to a school, it's probably going to be wise that you stay at that school, and battle it out, because there's a good opportunity. If you leave and go somewhere else, your clock isn't going to start over, and you're still going to have to battle with another kid. So they're trying to cut all of that down. I think it's going to be more advantageous for the high school players. The high school players to come in and start right away. I do agree with Leon, or with them not being able to sit, and being held back by their parents. Hey, look, let's hold them back a year so they'll be a little more mature, a little more experienced, bigger and stronger and faster than the rest of his peers. Because that's how they're graded. They're graded on what? The year that they come in, right? So
B, so
imagine, yeah,
you saying we won't have another one of them wide receivers that was at Alabama that was like a 20-year-old freshman,
yeah,
Ridley.
yeah, yeah. Calvin Ridley. Yeah, he was a 20-year-old
Hey, you
freshman.
know that's in your backyard. You know all
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Ridley.
yeah, right down the street from me, right? He was a 20-year-old freshman. I think, which, in 2 years, if you now he's 22, by the time he's a sophomore going into his junior year, he's almost 23 years old. But he's still in his third year of school. Now, does it help him in his class? Of course it does, because he's coming in with a bunch of 17 and 18-year-old kids. So of course he's going to be a 5 star. He's almost, legal enough to drink.
He's
He's gonna be a
almost
FIFA.
he almost Big B age. Shout out
Right,
to
right,
Big B,
right.
man. I don't know where
Shout
you
out to
at,
Big B,
man.
man.
I
Shout out to
don't know
Big
where
B,
Big
man.
B
Love you,
at.
man.
Hey, and
Yeah.
and
So
along with
yeah,
this, they shrank the transfer portal window from 15 days down to 10.
Yep.
right, right.
Yep.
So yeah. So they're trying to subvert, the loophole that a lot of these kids and these agents found, and within that policy, and get them out earlier, which I think is good for the game. You don't want now maybe one or two that's on a team that's different, as opposed to having 8 or 9 per team. 24, 25-year-old kids out there competing with 18-year-old kids. So I think it's a good thing.
So
Trojan
what's
Pounder, real
your
quick. He says,
what's your
question, but what about the JUCO situation
it's
ruling as
5
far as
years.
not counting?
5 years.
Yeah,
It's
they
five
changed that.
years.
They
It
changed
doesn't
that,
matter.
Trojan Pounder. Yeah, they
It's
changed it.
5 years. And so it's 5 years from your high school graduation or the time you turn 19. So all that JUCO stuff don't count no more. But B, before I go ahead and give my point of
Yeah,
view
yeah, go ahead.
and we can start getting calls, let's get with so do you think this hurt USC or not?
Um, Well, I think it's going to be, every program is going to, well, not so much, because USC has more so pivoted towards, high school recruiting. It's going to hurt the teams that are dependent on the portal. So, yeah, USC, as long as they're not recruiting a bunch of 20-year-old kids out of high school, then no, it doesn't hurt
Dang.
USC.
And I should have just left the question alone and went ahead and gave my part
Yeah.
because then you said exactly what I was about to say. So
Okay.
now it's gonna seem like I'm copying you. But to me, this doesn't hurt USC. This is in
Right.
our favor. And the reason I say that is because Chad Bowden, give props to Chad Bowden, right? And his vision and Lincoln Riley and their vision, right? While everybody else was going portal heaven, they said, no, we're going to major in high school recruiting and minor in the portal, right? And now, because they seen what was coming, right? And now we're in a situation where it's advantageous for us because now you're not going to be able to go pull those old players and things out the portal like that. They're going to be eligibility. We've been majoring in high school, so look at our recruiting classes and the depth and stuff we've been building with the talent, right? It's not, to me, this is not going to hurt us with the 5-year thing, because here's the situation. Before this, if a player came in and they redshirted their freshman year, they still only have 4 years of eligibility to play. Now they have 5 years. 5 years is 5 years. That's the same eligibility. I do understand if they came in and they had a red shirt and then they got injured, they can possibly get a 6 year. That's gone. But players not coming in thinking about injury and all that. 5 years is 5 years. So even if they red shirt their freshman year, they still got 4 years to play. Even like Malik Brooks, if he's going to JUCO for a year. When he come in the fall, he's still going to have 4 years. So
Right.
that's to me, I think it's advantageous for USC because of how we've been recruiting and the mindset that we went to, and that we said we're going to major in high school recruiting and build through high school. And to be honest, with this 5-year plan, it's going to take us back to the football that most of us used to know. Before you had all this eligibility waivers and if you don't play 4 games, all this, it's going to take us back to the 90s and the football we grew up and we love, right? You get 5 years, you get a red shirt in 4 years. You know what I mean?
Did you see my comment? Did you see the comment? This is geared to stop a team like Indiana from coming out of nowhere and win a natty. That's what this is geared to do.
That's gonna hurt those type of teams who
right
want to have an average age of their team is. Leon, let me put it right, because I know you know. What was the average age of Indiana? Because I know you brought it up a whole lot. What is it, like 24? They were older than the Green Bay Packers?
It was 24, 25, yeah.
Yeah. We won't see that no more.
But the bigger thing was how many years of experience those guys had. A lot of those guys were 5th and 6th year guys.
Right. And so we won't have that no more. And it's not just experience, it's that when you're 24, 25, you playing 18, 19, 21, that I don't care what you say, and you've been in a college program lifting weights and all that, on those, that's an advantage, right? I don't care how talented they is or what stars they had. That's still an advantage.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, because you're gonna make me lose my train of thought. That's an advantage. But to me, this benefits USC only because Chad Bowden had the foresight, right? He was thinking forward, and him and Lincoln Riley, and we will start recruiting high school heavily, right? So now we're gonna have a onslaught. I don't think many kids are gonna say I'm not coming to USC because you have this, that, and that. Because when they go, it's gonna be the same thing, right? If you come here, that first year still, though you might not play, it's still like the same thing. You come in and you redshirt that year, you still have 4 years. So I don't think it's going to be a disadvantage. Go ahead, Leon.
I was about to say, is this an undercover SEC rule? If you look at the last 3 national champions, if you talk about Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana, all senior-laden teams with guys who have 5th or 6th year experience. Is this something the SEC cooked up because they got tired of the Big Ten winning?
It may have been. You can't put anything past Saban in the SEC. You can't put anything past them. They were the ones that went to Congress whining about the NIL and putting restrictions on it, and they were the ones who actually started those, brown bag handshakes, those handshakes down there. As long as they were able to stack players and stack 4 and 5 stars and keep them from going other places because it was illegal to pay, they were fine with it. Time it came.
Man, Trojan Panda, Trojan Panda just hit me with some news and I didn't realize it. I haven't been able to fact check it, but I'm pretty sure Trojan Panda did, but he said that Miami average starters were older than Indiana's. I don't know about that because I remember Indiana being the oldest team in the country.
Chris, that's why I went back to years of experience. Indiana had the number 1 team in the terms of years of experience with their players. I think they weren't the oldest. I think there was another team that was older. Okay. But if you look at the years of experience, nobody had more years of experience than they did.
Got you. Gotcha.
See,
well, man, that's our
5 to play. but they will be pushing more of the juniors to the NFL so the sophomores can get a start taking the field. My
That's
advice is to come in and be productive fast. That's my advice.
yeah.
Come in
Well,
and be
man,
productive
the
fast.
link is in there. We've been on almost 2 hours. We got through
Yeah,
our questions. We appreciate Leon for hopping in. Man, you guys go ahead, hit the link. We're gonna take some call-ins before we get out
yeah,
of here.
definitely.
So
Hey, Chris and B Jinx, one more thing.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
thing.
Go ahead.
go ahead till we get some call-ins. You got you got it.
Have you guys talked about the damn it just slipped my head. I just
Come on, tough style. You too young to be forgetting.
I, because I've been holding on to it, trying to making sure
Paulie, my
I don't
man.
forget.
Hold
Um,
on, real fast, Polly. Let's let Leon, this young man,
have,
figure out what he got.
have you guys talked about the damn, never mind. Just go ahead. I'll think about it.
Hold on,
Polly,
Q.
what's up, man? Fight
What's
on,
up? What's up,
fight
guys?
on,
Fight
right?
on,
Come
man.
on.
I gotta tell you, I just had a
Hey,
great
before you
dinner.
talk, come on, do the Rocky voice. We need it.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Lincoln, to get this team. Lincoln, I don't know what you want me to do. You gotta get one of these road wins, Lincoln,
What you got for us, Polly? What you got for us?
Hey, that was actually pretty good, man.
It
Oh my.
was.
No, guys. Honestly, Leon, I'm going to be joining the 52 club here, July 5th coming up. So I'm
Oh
right there
man.
with you, brother, man. So,
Happy early birthday.
dude, I got
The
to
fifth
tell
is
you,
coming up
man,
next week.
it's a blessing,
Next
bro. That
Monday.
I'm like, I still get overwhelmed thinking, I shouldn't even be here, and to be able to be blessed with another birthday, man, be able to be on, on your show talking, and everything is just every day is a gift, man. And I'm listening a lot. You guys have some great topics. I absolutely love the show the other day, the breakdowns. I think it's great. Do not lose sight of that. Keep on it, bro, because it's different, and I enjoyed it, man. And you guys are big supporters of all three of you guys. But getting back to it, as far as players that are going to the schedule. That's the one thing I want to talk about. To me, the way they made this schedule this year, I think every game is pretty much a signature win for us. And what I mean by that is there's no breaks, even flying from one coast to the other and taking on a Rutgers team with an explosive offense like that, that's going to put that defense to a test. You look at games like Washington, but that game against Penn State, obviously Oregon is big. I think we take that without a problem. We're a different team at home, but that Penn State on the road, that's going to set the tone because you know what? Obviously, I know where Chris was coming from. I know what I both of your points were great. When you guys were talking about signature wins and Iowa, even though they had an elite top 10 defense, I want to know if we would have been able to do that at in Iowa against them. Because Fournette said he'd never seen anything explosive like that in his entire career. And so what I want to see is I want to see our boys be able to go into a Penn State and be able to handle the business and to be able to go on the road and win these games and put teams away like Wisconsin. I don't want to be messing around in the fourth quarter. That's the leap I want to see from them. What I see too
Mm-hmm.
is in recruiting, they're doing it the right way. Obviously Indiana there was guys like Aiden Fisher, the linebacker, was 26 years old. Surratt, another 26-year-old. These guys, that was just not right. And so I like the way we're building this Trojan program because I remember if you look back, you could be a Matt Castle and get no playing time and still have a productive NFL career. Frosty Rucker, another one. He wasn't some big time superstar, ended up having a really productive career. There's Sammy Knights and guys like that really weren't mega stars, but they were still able to come and compete. And even if you're not getting the most playing time, I love that competition that they're creating right now. Just watching Booby and Dixon White go at it, on that one show that I watched this morning. I was like, wow, I love that competition. Seeing Jonas out there, and Jonas to me is very special. But as far as two defensive players or players that I think are going to break out on the defensive side is obviously you're going to watch Coach Patterson work wonders, and you're going to see the evolution of Cam Crawford. I think Crawford to me has all the intangibles. It's definitely first round type talent that he has. I think he definitely can make that leap. But to me, I've been a big Alex Graham guy since day one, since that Polynesian Bowl. When I heard his interview and I said, boy, this guy's not only tough, but he's smart. He's on top of it. He can do a little bit of everything. He played on the offensive side of the ball. He has that ability to return and kind of give that threat where he can intercept the pass and take it to the house if he can. But other than that, guys, I just wanted to take a second to jump in. I love, got nothing but love for you guys, and I don't want to hold up the line or anything, but you guys are always great, man. And thanks for the support. Okay.
Appreciate you, Paulie. Appreciate you. Fight on,
man.
Fight on,
Paulie.
Paulie. Fight on.
Hey, Paulie.
Hey.
Don't be sending us that
Right on,
delicious
Paulie.
food pictures. I don't know if you've seen it. He sent us some delicious food he cooked.
Yeah, I saw that. We got up next, Rodolfo Q.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You just call me Trojan Panda.
Oh, what's going on, Trojan Panda? I think it's the first time you called in.
What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been watching you guys for a long time, but I never called in.
Man, we appreciate it, man. It's good to hear from you, man. I definitely see the name all the time in the chats. Man, welcome, man. Welcome, man. We appreciate you calling in.
Chris, I got a lot of love for you, but earlier when you were talking about the quality, I guess a quality win and a bad win or a quality win, you sounded like those old drunk uncles.
Hey, look. Hey, that's what it's all about, man. This is for you to call in and give your opinion. We don't have to agree. I understand. Right. I respect your opinion. What you got for me? Come on, explain your viewpoint.
As far as that, even though Penn State, the wheels fell off for them halfway through the season, you look back and Oregon was still credited for being wasn't Penn State like top 6, something like that?
Yeah, when they played, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and when they beat them at Penn State, they still got it. Did their strength of schedule did not take a hit because they did it right. They essentially they froze that moment in time.
So the only comeback to that is that when it came down to the end of the season, if we would have beat Oregon would not have been in the playoffs, and we would have only been their second to loss. The strength of schedule was a factor for them. That was the whole knock against. That was the whole knock against Oregon. So that Penn State was not looked at as a quality win for them on the meter.
Yeah, they didn't look at it, but they still were. But the committee still saw it that way.
But Chris, you said earlier, so Oregon was in the top 10. If we would have beat them, they would have fell out of the top 10. You said earlier that's not a quality win. You said that's not a win you want to see.
That's not what I said. What I said was because we would have only been Oregon's second loss. That would have been a quality win. I said if they went through the rest of the season and lost 3 or 4 games, then that's not a quality win. That is exactly what I said.
No, I asked you. What I said was if we beat a team that's in the top 10, and at the end of the season they're not in the top 10, you said that's not a win. And I asked you to clarify
That's not what I said.
So now you're saying that. So now you're saying
what I said is what I said. Tom, hold on, Leon. That's not what I said. What I said is that if we beat a team in the top 10 and it's week 1 and they go through the season, they end up with 3 or 4 losses, and that's not a quality win because we have seen that they was not as good as their projection. That's what I said going into that week 1.
So you're saying hold on. So you're saying if Oregon loses to us, Ohio State, and Indiana, and they fall out of top 10, they're not a good team? That's 2 losses. You're missing. No, that's 3 losses. That's 3 losses. So the line of delineation is 3 or 4 losses.
No, the line of delineation is who they lost to.
Okay.
What determines that is who those losses to.
But now, Chris, check this out.
If you lose, if we beat Oregon and they lose to 3 other top 10 teams, that's a quality win. But if you're beat Oregon and then they go lose to teams that's not in the top 10 and that's unranked, that's not a quality win. If you look at that LSU year, that when we beat LSU week 1 and the losses that they had, they were losing to teams that was not even ranked.
Chris,
that's not a quality win.
Like 7 starters that year. They
lost.
You
asked me a question, and what I'm saying is, if you beat a team week 1 and they're ranked in the top 10, and then they go on after you beat them and they go through the season and they're losing to teams that's not quality teams, that's not top 10 teams, that's not good teams, that's not a quality win.
Hold
And
on.
that's how
Hold on. Let me bring in Walter real
Oh,
quick.
sorry. Hold on, real
Trojan
fast,
Panda.
because me and Leon. Hold on. I'm sorry, Trojan Panda. Hold on, before we bring Walter in, because we
Okay.
cut off and we start talking. Trojan Panda, I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
Go ahead, man. You
No,
called into the show and we took up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, it's all good. I was just gonna say that. Check this, Chris. Uh, I see your point of view, but uh, what happened also last season, even though Clemson ended up really, really sucking, they were still ranked in the top 6 or 7 when LSU beat them, and they still counted that victory as a solid victory because at the moment in time that they played, they beat Clemson at Clemson, and they were in the top 6. You know what I mean?
Yep, I
That's a
got you.
good
Good
point.
point.
That's what they
I
did.
can't remember. I can't remember Clemson last year really much because Clemson been a non-issue. But I believe you, man. That's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
they were still in the top 6 or 7, whatever it was, and they were at Clemson. Remember, ESPN made a big old thing about it. You know, top 10 teams opening game of the season for them.
Yeah. I think I remember. I think I remember that vaguely, Trojan Panda. But hold on just a second.
Sure.
Walter Clark.
I think what happened is when they did it at the time they counted it, but as the weeks went on and by the end of the season they didn't. But I get what you're saying, and I get what Leon's saying. You saying what Leon is saying, and there
Yeah.
it's a valid point, Trojan Panda. It's a valid point. You and Leon and B have valid points.
Walter Clark, how you doing, my man?
Fine. How are you guys doing today?
Doing
Walter, what's
great.
happening?
Oh, Trojan
Leon?
Panda, don't leave. You can stay on so you can still get in the conversation. What's up going on,
Oh,
Walter?
all right. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bunch of
Appreciate it,
Chris.
brother.
Listen, Leon, I'm with you about Desmond Stevens, okay, for the coming season.
Look at
Okay.
Leon. Walter, don't agree with Leon. Look at him. You got him back there patting
No,
himself on the back. Don't agree with Leon.
come on, man. I mean, the guy led the team as inconsistent as he was. He led the team in tackles last year, and he had 17 against Oregon,
Yeah, he
okay?
did.
You know,
He did.
so I mean, and first of all, we talked about Ince's 1 year here and how the linebackers were pretty decent. He had 4th and 5th year seniors playing linebacker for him.
Right,
Okay,
right.
right. And then last year, what do we get? We get two
Inexperienced.
kids. We get two kids who get starting for the first time, playing a position that they didn't play in high school. Neither Walker or Stevens played linebacker in high school. Like you said, there were safeties that that uh, outgrew their bodies. So I mean, I'm a little bit more positive.
And Walter, I don't have a debunk or argument against you or Leon with that because there's one thing that we all are forgetting. We didn't find out till after the season that Desmond Stevens played most of
That's
the
right.
season with broke ribs.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that too.
Yep.
Also,
So did I.
And what we seen is towards the end of the year, Desmond Stevens was a totally different player than he was the first half of the season, which let me know he was getting more healthy. So that's valid. I don't have anything to say against what you and Leon said. I agree. What about you, B?
I agree 100%. But again, we can only go off of. I'm sorry. I agree 100%. But we can only go off of what
All
we
about
see
the film.
on the field. Right, right. We can only go off of that. So, you know, everybody knows in house. But to me, Jaden Walker looked better, especially in certain spots last season. I understand Desmond Stevens had all of those tackles against Oregon, but we talk about on a wide scale when you consider all of the games they played. Jaden Walker just looked like a better linebacker to me.
Well,
well, well,
I got a rebuttal to that, though.
let me bring up a
Hey,
point.
I
Okay,
can only remember the Iowa game that I
yeah,
can remember. B, because everybody, if this your first time, we do go live for every game
Mhm.
and we break it down. Everybody be here. I just my fondest memory is the Iowa game and B saying, "What is he doing?" When the play started and he was like looking around or talking to the
Mhm.
sideline, and and that tight end went for like I don't know how many yards on the pass,
Right,
and be
right,
like,
right.
"What is he doing?" Like he's not even looking. So B, hey, full disclosure, B got some traumatic experience. So just letting everybody know what.
Well, he wasn't
well,
paying attention is what he wasn't doing. He wasn't paying
well,
attention.
well, just like the bowl game, the last game of the season, right? That was our worst tackling game the whole season.
That was
Okay,
awful.
Yes.
That was awful.
okay. Christian Pierce missed the tackle, and all I can hear about for going on online and stuff like that is that the guy's a terrible tackler, and he had a great
he missed
season.
the saving tackle is what it was, Walter Clark.
Yeah.
Before that, it was
Walter-
two other tackles that was missed prior to it getting to Christian Pierce.
So Walter,
Exactly.
the reason, go back. You don't even have to watch the full games, but just go on YouTube and you can bring up the USC season. And this is not a knock against this kid. He's gonna be good. I want him to be the starter. But Christian Pierce had an issue missing tackles all season. It wasn't that last play. Even in TCU, you got to remember we almost had a safety and all that. He missed the tackle on the quarterback. But if you go through the year, it was more than just that game with him missing tackles.
You want to know?
Yeah,
You want to know why
but
Christian Pierce has a
also-
problem missing tackles?
But we also
Because Christian
Going for
Pierce, because
Go for
Christian
kill
Pierce is
shots.
always trying to kill somebody.
Kill shots.
Okay.
That's exactly it. And don't wrap
Yeah.
up.
Can I make a-
yeah,
can I
and then
make a
we
point,
also found
gentlemen?
out that he had a bad shoulder too.
Yep, that
Check
is true
this out,
too.
gentlemen. What do you guys think? Check this out. I noticed something. Maybe it's something. Maybe it was nothing. But didn't you notice that once Cameron changed his last name, he seemed to settle down? Because prior to that, he seemed to be playing very hesitant, like he had something going on other than football.
You talking about Fountain or you talking about Cam Crouch? Cam Crouch?
Yeah, man. So Georgia Panda, what I think with that is that like he wasn't a starter last year. So I think as the season went on, a lot of the young players who
But I'm talking about the changing of the last name was on his head.
Started last year.
Yeah.
no,
So he-
not in 2025, but in 2024.
Oh, okay, yeah.
His
No, no,
freshman
but
season.
yeah.
I'm referring
His freshman
to,
season.
I'm referring
So-
to when he changed his last name. It seemed like it was some family dynamic going on, and when he changed his last name, it's like, okay, that situation is taken care of. Now I can concentrate on football.
I think it's more
Yeah,
about
it
that happening towards the middle of the season. I think he started playing
Yeah,
better
that's
with
what I'm
gaming.
saying.
I think he started playing better because of game experience. And
Yeah, I think he got more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so? He seems to be playing like with something on his mind also. Though.
No.
Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'm seeing something that's not there.
Oh no, it's a good topic. Like we all don't know. We're not him, but it could be either or. Go ahead, Walter.
No, I tend to agree with you, Chris. Also, Chris, I like your breakdown that you did. I hope you do more of them.
Yeah.
Breakdown. What we talking about today?
The film,
talking about the
film,
video,
the TCU.
The video.
Oh,
Garrett
okay.
Patterson, bro.
Okay.
Hey, I got a question for you, gentlemen, for all you guys. What's your opinion? Personally, I like a nickname to be earned and someone else to give it to you, but you have to earn it first. And that I always have a problem when I see they always put that Hill. They always put Rock. The kid hasn't played a single down at SG, and he already has a nickname.
No. He came. That's not a nickname that we gave him. That's been his.
No,
nickname
I'm not talking about you guys. Somebody did.
No.
Somebody
Rock
gave him
Hill.
a nickname.
No, Rock Hill. That's the name he came to USC with. That's what his family. That's his family name for him.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
these
I
kids
know
have
that.
nicknames from childhood. So
Yeah, like childhood nickname.
like I've had a nickname since I was like young.
What is
pup.
it, Leon? What is it?
Juice. If you ask anybody, I've grown up with, like USCJ knows my folks. USCJ was like, yo, you know Leon? They like Leon. I say, oh, yeah, that's Juice. They know me as Juice.
Okay.
It's only as I got older, I introduced myself as Leon.
Yeah, I
Mine-
got.
mine
We all
has
got
been
nicknames.
Panda.
And we all.
Yeah.
I got one.
Mine's
I got
been
one
Panda.
too that people still
Mine's
call
been
me to this
Panda.
day. But
Mine's been Panda, but also to Thanos.
Thanos.
Thanos?
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
feeling
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That was a high school. That was a high school thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
B,
Maybe
what's
I'm
your
too old fashioned, man.
B Jinx? What's your, outside of B Jinx? What? Come on. What's your nickname?
Um, just my initials, BJ. Nothing,
Okay.
fancy anything like that.
Walter, what's your nickname? We
Skipper.
got Juice. We got Panda. What's yours?
Skipper.
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 Oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah.
Skipper.
And as I got older, it just became Skip.
Got you. Got you. Yeah,
Hey,
I think everybody got a nickname, man. You grow up with
Yeah,
people still call you it, and especially depending on your lifestyle and all that. So I try to move as far away from mine as possible because I'm not that person no more. So there's still people who call me to this day.
Chris needs to change his nickname to Dodgers.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. Them fighting words. It's Padres all day, always and
All
forever
right.
over here.
Well,
Otani.
yeah, well, guys, we that's going to wrap up the show for the day. Listen, we appreciate everybody that came on. Paulie Walnuts, as always, for joining the show. Um, Panda Bear, don't be a Panda, don't be a Trojan Panda, don't be a stranger. I called him Panda
Hey, that
Bear,
man
but I
said,
apologize.
that man
No
said
doubt,
Panda
no
Bear.
doubt.
Chosen
He
Panda.
said
Yeah,
Panda
Walter
Bear.
Clark, man, we appreciate you coming on to the live. First, light the torch. Everybody that came
Oh,
on and gave the
hey,
comments.
gentlemen, before you go, what's your opinion about they put us at 12:30 against 9:30 kickoff essentially for us against who is it, Rutgers?
No, that's 3:30.
It's 3:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I thought it was
3:30 back
12:30.
east.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
we're gonna get into that on another show. We're gonna get into the scheduling and everything on
Oh,
another
all right,
show. We'll probably come back on next
no
week, but definitely, Chris, we're gonna load up some more videos. A lot of people we're getting a lot of positive reviews on the video that Chris did the other day, the film breakdown. So we're gonna do that. But again, Walter Clockman, man, we appreciate you coming on. Trojan Panther, Leon, our weekly
no
resident,
doubt, no
man,
doubt.
always we appreciate you.
Have a
Joining the
have a
show,
safe,
joining.
blessed weekend, gentlemen.
Thank
Be
you. We
safe.
too.
appreciate
God
You
bless
it.
this weekend.
All right. Right on. Yeah,
Take
but
care.
again, we appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, if this is your first time joining the live, joining the show, period, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that bell for notifications for when we do go live or when we drop our content. Other than that, Walter Clark, you got anything you want to close out the show with?
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to this coming season, I hope we play to our size, especially our D-line room, because I think we have one of the biggest ones in the Big Ten, and I hope we use it the way it should be used.
Absolutely, absolutely. Liam, my man, you got anything you want to close out the show with?
Leon, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You got anything you want to close out the show with?
Man, thank you and Chris for allowing me to come on the show again, man. Love chopping it up with you guys. We got like 64 more days until the season starts, so I'm looking forward to that. And like always, man,
Man,
fight on.
is it 64? Boy, I
I think
can't.
it's
Man,
like
it's going
64,
fast.
65, something like that. Yeah.
Shout out to B Jones, man. Light the torch, man. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Chris, you got anything?
One more.
You wanna...
One more thing. It just popped into me what I was going to ask you guys about that we didn't talk about. Oh shit! I just lost it again.
Leon, come on, bro, man.
You too young for that, Leon.
Fast, man. How you
Hey, why
that
he
fast?
think? Why he think?
Because we was talking about the season about to start, and then it popped up in my head real quick, and I just lost it that fast. Damn.
Well,
Don't
think
worry
about it
about
real fast. Walter. Hey, Walter, you on Instagram or anything? How we contact you, man? Walter?
He might be gone already.
Oh, okay, Walter gone.
Oh no,
All right,
hold
Leon,
on. Walter, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Walter,
Yeah.
you on Instagram or anything? How do we contact you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Put your information in a private chat, man. I'm gonna talk to B, man. We might start doing some shows where we do the whole show. We allow some of our most faithful subscribers, to come on and just do the show with us. Things like that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to figure out how to do it. I'm an old guy, man. I told you I'm 77, so.
Whoa, are you? I didn't know that.
Yes.
On your,
I told you I've been a fan since 1963, January
I remember
1st.
him saying that. I remember
hey
him saying
Walter, if you on your phone and you're in the thing, you should see something that say like private chat, and you can put your information in there.
Okay, we'll do.
yeah, put it in
All
the
right, Leon,
private
did
chat.
you figure it out, man? Before I close out, well, I'm trying to give you some time.
Bro, it just popped in my head when I was talking more days left until the season start, and then that fast I lost it, yo. Don't worry about it, man. It must not be important. Yeah, I do. I need a nap. Yeah, I do.
Leon, I need a
Right,
nap, B. Jones. All right, well, I do
right.
too, man. We're gonna do some family time and things like that, man. So again, man, appreciate everybody, man. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, comment, man. We put a new video out. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. We're trying something new. It's called Get Into the Game, where we're in the game and we're breaking down some footage. If you want to see more of that, we got to see some traction. It's not something that you do in 5 minutes. So, make sure if you like and enjoy it, hit the like, just put a comment under there so we can keep it going. I do plan, we do plan on getting another one out to you next week. We're going to try to do it once a week, but it's all going to be dictated on how it go and to keep it
Hold
going.
on, hold on. He got it. Leon got
I
it.
got it.
Hurry up.
I got it. It had to do with the schedule.
Trojan, all right, hold on. B. Trojan Panda said, "Bring back the wheel." We definitely will. We'll bring back the wheel.
You gonna make him forget, man.
No, I got it. It's there. It's there.
Right, yeah. But Trojan Panda said, "Bring back the wheel." I definitely will bring back the wheel for a show. Trojan Panda, man. Trojan Panda, send us your contact information in a private chat, man. We might do the wheel and bring on, some of our most faithful people like you and Walter and some other people and let you guys go at it. So what you got, Leon?
Damn, I forgot it again. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my God.
No. We need to talk about the fact that now that they changed the whole rule about the week 0 games and not needing permission to play. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And how USC probably knew that rule was going to change, and that's why they were offering the week 0 games for Notre Dame. There ain't no reason why Notre Dame doesn't play that week 0 game. That's what I wanted to bring up earlier.
Hey, that's gonna be our next show.
And I forgot about that, Leon. We talked about it the other day. We could have talked about it today. Leon, text it.
Write that down, dude. Write that down.
Nah, text it to me, and so we'll have it. All three of us will have it, so you don't forget it again. So you don't forget it again.
I'm saying write it down and put it on your desktop or your laptop screen so you don't forget it.
Yeah, but I'm saying he texted to me. He texted to the group chat with me, him, and you. Nobody will forget it. It'll be there. So do that right now. That's definitely awesome. Man,
we're gonna get on out of here, man. Until next time,
then, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. We'll have another video out probably about Tuesday, Wednesday, another quick video about getting to the game. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll get it out to you. We'll be going live again next week, man. So we appreciate everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, man. Until later on, Trojan family, we appreciate everybody, man. Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on.